Hey guys, uh, welcome to my preview. This is a special preview of Merseyside versus Manchester. This is that's not the fixture. It's a double of Everton versus Man City and Man United versus Liverpool. So I'll be previewing both games, and I'm gonna start with Everton versus Man City. So, Everton and Man City. This one, if you kind of look at it, it's the battle of it's kind of the battle of the weaker ones in a sense, because Manchester United versus Liverpool is the main fixture. It's the biggest club game in England. But Everton and Man City, Everton and Man City were always just the little city rivals. The Manchester derby has become, bigger and bigger over the past few years. But I'm pretty sure if you ask a Man United fan and a Man United fan if which derby, no, which match is bigger, Liverpool or Man City, they would certainly say Liverpool, and the same thing vice versa. So you know that just states how big the game is. So Everton, their form has been okay, very inconsistent of late, and the same goes for Man City. So never know what could really happen here, but I'll preview it, and I'll make a prediction. Now, Everton. Everton, they're a team that have disappointed me of late because they're a team that have so much quality. They have top quality players. They've Seamus Coleman, Ashley Williams, Leighton Baines, Idrissa Gueye, who's gone off to the African Cup of Nations. You've also got Ross Barkley, Romelu Lukaku, Enner Valencia. These are top quality players. So if you're not doing well with them, then it's really not acceptable where Everton are. Everton should be challenging really hard for the top four, and in the end, they just seem like some mid-table side who are never making progress. So that's my worry about them. As for Man City, goals no problem. It's at the back, it's at the other end of the pitch that will turn out to be their downfall in this title race, because their defense at times is comical. It actually is comical, and John Stones has been one of the main offenders. I mean, making passes that are unnecessary, and then putting his team in trouble. Claudio Bravo, Claudio Bravo making the worst, funniest mistakes ever. I mean, so their defense is very, very unreliable, but their attack is still very good. So that's why you can never rule Man City out of a title race. It's not over until it's over. But these this Everton, they're a good side. If Everton hit top form, then they could seriously hurt Man City on Sunday. So you know, uh, this this is a match that's very hard to call. But I hope I can make a decision because it's looking very hard at the moment. So let me go to my battles. So the first battle that I'm doing is Ashley Williams versus John Stones. Now, sorry, I'll change that. Not John Stones. Ashley Williams of Everton versus Nicolas Otamendi of Man City. Ashley Williams, well, he is about just about Everton's best defender because he's got a real passion for the game, and such a strong tackler. He's good in the air. He's got leadership qualities. He's physically really strong and mentally really strong as well. So I've got absolutely no problems with him, and he knows how to defend. That's the important thing because defending seems it's becoming kind of a forgotten art in football. I mean, defenders, there are some managers that expect their defenders to pass and then defend. But defenders, I mean, their name is kind of their purpose to defend. So that's why sometimes I'm slightly critical of managers like Pep Guardiola who try to overplay the ball in critical areas. So Nicolas Otamendi though is a good, strong Argentinian warrior who would battle against anyone and give them a good run for their money. But the winner here is Ashley Williams because he's more reliable than Nicolas Otamendi in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, Otamendi is a brilliant defender, but for me he just has that really costly mistake in him. So that's why I'm going for Ashley Williams. Midfield, Ross Barkley versus Kevin De Bruyne. Ross Barkley, like Everton, he's disappointed me a lot in the past couple of years. He had a lot of promise in the season before the last World Cup. And I remember a particular match against a certain opposition where he actually just destroyed that team. I mean, unfortunately Everton didn't win, but he ran that whole game, you know, and that's what he should be doing week in, week out. But he's become really inconsistent. And this season, even, Ronald Koeman has dropped him out of the team on several occasions. He's managed to fight his way back into the team over the past few weeks, but his performances aren't still what I expect of him. Anyway, he's only 23, 24, so, you know, he's got a long way to improve yet. And let's just hope this is a small blip in what turns out to be a very successful career for him. However, well, Man City's Kevin De Bruyne, he wins this battle because he is a player that can pass and he can shoot. You know, he's a player whose goals and assists tallies will be very high at the end of the season. You know, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is a good finisher. He creates really good goals. You know, so and he's got more quality. I mean, 54.5 million Man City spent on him in the summer of 2015. Every penny was worth it. Now, uh, striker battle. Nicolas Otamendi versus... No, sorry, not Nicolas Otamendi. Sorry. Romelu Lukaku versus Sergio Aguero. Romelu Lukaku, he's strong. He's got a bit of pace on him. He's a really lethal finisher. But the one problem that I have with him is that he's very immobile. You know, his movement is not very good. The ball has to be played directly to him. You know, he doesn't make good runs like other strikers, Suarez, Sanchez, even Aguero. And Aguero he's the most complete striker in the Premier League. He can drop in, he can hold the ball up, he can run in behind, he can finish, he can score from 20, 25 yards. You know, he's the most complete striker and even gets the odd header. So he's He's my pick for this one. Even though he's had a bit of a dip in the past year, he's still my favorite. He's still my best striker. Now, my prediction for this game is that Man City will just edge it 2-1. It will be a close game. Everton will come flying out of the blocks, but Man City will win. That's my prediction. Now, part 2. The biggest game in club football. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Red versus red. Mourinho versus Klopp. Ibrahimovic versus Firmino. Martial versus Coutinho. Pogba versus Lallana. This is one of the most important games every season, and it's no different here. Because, these are the two teams that have won the most trophies in England. And historically, they're the two biggest clubs, and they also have the two most amount of supporters in England, right, worldwide. So, it's a big game. But it's more than just off the pitch and fan-to-fan rivalries. This is going to be a big game on the pitch. There's a lot of interesting battles that I'm going to talk about. So let's get to it. So Manchester United have been on their best run of form for a long, long time. I mean, they've won, is it 9 games in a row in all competitions? And they've won 6 games in a row in the Premier League. So that is really impressive. And they've been unbeaten in 15 in all competitions. So that is really impressive, But Liverpool have been having a slight dip lately, I mean, the 2-2 draw of Sunderland, that's a bit unacceptable. No disrespect to Sunderland, but if you're a team chasing the title, you've got to beat teams like Sunderland. And you've got to beat them no sweat. Well, it doesn't even matter how you beat them. You just got to make sure you beat them. So that was a bit disappointing on their point of view. But, it doesn't matter what's happened before, because the past is the past. It's what happens on the day. And that's why form is not, because that's where the saying comes from. Form is temporary, but class is permanent. So, I mean, here form counts for nothing really. So, let's do the battles now. I'm not doing the battle for the goalkeeper because one is significantly better than the other. If you're if you're somebody that really follows the Premier League, then you know who I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna do a defensive battle, and the defensive battle is between Phil Jones and Dejan Lovren. Phil Jones has had a huge resurgence of late. He's been in the team, and he's had a big comeback, and after his injury hell, it's good to see him back. But my pick for this one is Dejan Lovren because he's simply a defender that will put his body on the line for the team. He gets the odd goal, and he's a defender that is more reliable than Phil Jones, in my opinion. Now, midfield. I'm to do 2 midfield battles here. The first one is between Paul Pogba, 89 mil. Let's hope that's not a waste. And Jordan Henderson. Now, Paul Pogba, 89 mil. Right, 89 mil. Sorry. Still just thinking. 89 mil. 23-year-old who has improved himself. Oh, there. Anyways, he, as we all know, Paul Pogba's world record fee in the summer, but Paul Pogba has really started to show himself as a really good player in the past few weeks. But he's been really unlucky with the post. He's hit the post 7 times in all competition. No, sorry, the woodwork, post or bar, 7 times this season. I mean, how unlucky can you get? He's got the joint most in the Premier League. So that's sad for him. But my pick for this one is Jordan Henderson, simply because he's more reliable than Paul Pogba for me. Paul Pogba, he can attack very well, but the defense is not his game. As for Jordan Henderson, he's much better all round, and that's what I like about him. Now, the second midfield battle. Felipe Coutinho, who may return, and Juan Mata of Man United. Juan Mata, he's a really good player. You know, he's a player that I've always liked because he's very tidy. He gets a lot of important goals, and you know, he's a player that would sacrifice himself for the team, not physically and all, but like you know, just playing in the wrong position for the sake of the team. And Felipe Coutinho, he's a world-class player. He's been injured for a while, so he may not start, but he's still Liverpool's best player on his day. So that's why I'm picking him. But in terms of the battle, I have to go for Juan Mata because Juan Mata for me he's more reliable than Felipe Coutinho. Felipe Coutinho, he delivers very quite often, but not as often as you know Juan Mata. Now, striker Roberto Firmino. So sorry, not Roberto. Divock Origi versus Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic wins this one. Don't read. I have to explain my reasons though. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is 35 and he's already got 18 goals in all competitions this season. When Man United signed him in the summer, I doubted him. I honestly doubted that he would be able to keep up with the pace of the Premier League. But he seemed to prove me wrong, as he scored 13 Premier League goals and 18 in all competitions, as I've already said. So that's really good, and that's the reason why he wins. But don't get me wrong, Divock Origi is a really talented youngster. He's a player that could become a really world-class player in years to come. You know, he just needs to keep working hard, and he seems like he's really working hard. And he did have to wait for his turn, but he got his turn, and he's been really lethal. So, don't get me wrong, watch out for that player. Alright, my final prediction is I'm going to go for Liverpool here. Form points to United, but as I said, form is temporary, class is permanent. And in terms of class, I think Liverpool just edged Man United here. I'm not completely sure though, but if I had to pick a winner, it would be Liverpool. And it would be close. However, Liverpool do have the ability to absolutely wreck Man United. So let's just hope it's a competitive game. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed this Premier League special double video. Thank you for watching and see you later. No, not later. See you next time, right? And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.